That's all right. We're just working the kinks out. Sorry, I was muted. Hello, everyone. Welcome to JCC's 2021 Virtual Speech Competition. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Cora Vaughn. I am a sophomore at JCC, the president of JCC's communications organization, S.P.E.A.K, as well as your host for tonight's event. I'm personally so excited. I was the winner at last year's public speaking competition. I know just how much work goes into preparing these speeches, the hours, the coaches, the writing, the practicing. And I really do want to commend the contestants who will be speaking for us today. The past year with COVID has been absolutely insane. I don't think there's anything the year hasn't thrown at us. And the fact that our contestants today saw that the speech competition was happening, looked back at the past year's events and was like, do you know what this year needs? I should do a speech, which I know most people would rather do anything else than. So even in the virtual environment, I really am very proud of the people who will be speaking with us today. The prompt for the competition is in honor of Women's History Month, Changing the Future, the Importance of Female Influence. It's the last day of Women's History Month, and I can think of no better way to honor that than to introduce you to the guest judges who are here with me today. I would like to begin with Miss Dawn Dixon. She is JCC's very own Associate Vice President of University Studies and Technologies. Following that, Miss Elizabeth Ham is an adjunct professor in history here at JCC. Miss Katherine Johnson is a member of the JCC board. She likes to play bridge, which I thought was interesting because I'm not sure what it is, but it certainly sounds exciting, as well as a former kindergarten and first grade teacher. Miss Cindy Nagnes is the founder and marketing director of Divine Marketing Group. I'm personally super stoked that she's here. She was a judge at last year's speech competition. It was how we met. I got to network with her after the event and ended up interning at her marketing company over the summer. And it was nothing short of a career-changing event. So for us both to be back this year in different positions is just like the coolest thing ever. But that's just my take. Anywho, last but certainly not least is Miss Cheryl Oliver. She is the mayor of Selma and a previous adjunct professor at JCC. As you can see, we have assembled an amazing panel of strong female judges for this event, and I'm nothing short of stoked to have them here with us today. I would like to give you a quick overview of what this competition will look like once I am done rambling through these introductions for you guys. We will be entering the first two competitors, Miss Cheryl Cogdell and Miss Carolyn Quick. Once they have given their 5-minute interpretations of the prompt, we will be moving into our first intermission. This first intermission is going to include a trivia game in which both the judges, the contestants, and everyone in the audience can participate in for a prize for first place, a digital $10 gift card. Like I said, anyone is welcome to jump in for this prize. The trivia questions that we have prepared for you today will be held via Kahoot and are done thanks to the History Club at JCC who are sponsoring this game. I will tell you more about how to play and details regarding that when we get to the intermission. All right, with that stuff out of the way, we are good to now bring Miss Cheryl Cogdell into the virtual stage so that she may begin her speech. How are you doing, Miss Cogdell?
I'm doing fine. I'm excited, nervous, and ready to go.
That's the vibe in the air right now. You are welcome to begin whenever you'd like.
Thank you. Let me take a deep breath. Good evening, panel of judges, members of the audience. It is my pleasure to present before you all as a finalist for the 2021 Johnston Community College Speak Speech Competition. I can't tell you how excited I am about the woman I have chosen for my presentation in honor of women's history. She is remarkable, and I know once you learn about her story that you'll feel the same way also. She elevates and honors women all over the world. Her name is Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson was an African-American mathematician, physicist, and a trailblazer. And boy, did she blaze trails. She worked at NASA from 1953 until 1986 when she retired. But let me tell you, she left some records at NASA. In fact, she was responsible for, her mathematical calculations were responsible for sending the first US crewed space flights and also subsequent ones after that. Let me repeat that. She helped send the first Americans to space. She charted the first moon landing. And because of that, she was recognized by Barack Obama in 2015 with the nation's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. You might have heard of her too, because she was depicted in a 2016 film titled Hidden Figures. Movie acknowledged the contributions that her and also other African American mathematicians who worked at NASA at the time. You know, there is a song that encapsulates Katherine Johnson's life story and that of other women. No, I'm not going to sing it tonight, but I will share some lyrics from the song with you. And it goes like this: to dream the impossible dream, to reach the unreachable star, that is my quest, to follow that star. Oh, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. Wouldn't you agree that the idea behind these lyrics, the thought behind these lyrics, the concept is exceptionally powerful and motivating? You see, Katherine Johnson's natural attributes in the time that she lived during segregation were used against her, but she didn't allow those to block her or stop her progress. The color of her skin, her gender, and then to compound that, her brilliance. And that brilliance was in the face of a male-dominated field in NASA. You know what she said? She said at that time, the women didn't ask questions, but she couldn't help herself. She had to ask questions. She had to know why. In fact, she asked so many questions, she asked herself into the men's meetings. She said they just got used to her and accepted her. But, you know, I don't think that was the only reason. The reason that she was there was because they needed her. They needed her skills. She was brilliant. And you know what I'd like to share with you? I'd like to share a little more about her background and her bio. And I hope that this underscores how inspiring her story should be to all of us. I hope her story aptly conveys that we need to follow our stars, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, according to others, that is, it may seem. She will always be branded on African American history, on American history, and a highlight of women's history. Now, where did this girl come from? Well, she was born February 1918 in a small town called White Silver Springs in West Virginia. And she came to rest, sadly, last year in February of 2020. This little girl was precocious. She could not stop counting. She counted the steps she walked. She counted the cracks in the ground. She counted the trees, the dishes. Her father saw that special ability. And you know what she said in her autobiography? She said, I love numbers and numbers loved me. And because of that, well, you know, the town that she lived in, it was because of segregation at that time, African Americans could only have their grade, they only could go up to 8th grade. So her father moved 120 miles away from their home so that she could continue her education, which she did. And she graduated with the highest distinction, summa cum laude, she was 18 years old. So, you know, what does her story tell us? What should we take away from it? She has a couple of notable quotes that I like to share with you. She said, I don't have a feeling of inferiority, never had. I'm as good as anybody, but no better. And she also said, we need to be assertive as women well, she's talking about her time, but also it applies to us. We needed to be assertive as women in those days, assertive and aggressive. And the degree to which we had to be that way depended on where you were and had to be. So like I said, this woman followed her star. But guess what? She catapulted men to the moon. We could do the same in our own way. This story about her is in no way, you should not compare yourself to her. It's not about a title or about what you do. It's about how you think about yourself. You have to believe that you can reach your individual stars no matter how far, no matter how hopeless. It was such a pleasure to be with you all, and I hope you enjoyed the story that I just shared with you about Katherine Johnson, because it is unforgettable. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. That was a wonderful interpretation of the prompt. For anyone who's in
Thank
the
you so much.
audience, give a virtual round of applause or just generally good vibes her way. That was excellent. All right, I will now invite you to log off, and I'm going to introduce Miss Carolyn Quick. You may now enter the virtual stage. Hi, Carolyn. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted. Believe me, I know how that feels.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm here.
Okay, perfect. You're welcome to begin whenever you'd like.
All right, thank you. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, 950,000 women immigrated to the United States in 2004, and my mom was one of them. We all have a mother, a sister, a wife, or a daughter in our lives. And now imagine a world without them. What will the world be like? We all have women in our lives that inspire us and make us want to be better. And for me, that person is my mom. Growing up in a third world country, she was fortunate to be born in an educated family. My mom comes from Uzbekistan, a place with extremely harsh weather. In the summer, the desert air is dry and temperatures reach 113 degrees. And in the winter, the snow covers the country and temperatures plummet to negative 31 degrees. And life there is just as harsh. Welfare and government support for families that are struggling to survive is non-existent. No matter one's background or goals in life, the priority of each person is to ensure there's a roof over their heads and bread on the table. And the only people you could rely on were your family and maybe some close relatives. And as a result, her experiences taught her so many things, and she was able to pass that on to me. And one of the things she has taught me is the value of hard work. My mom worked extremely hard, traveling by foot no matter the weather because cars were too expensive. During the day, she worked full-time in the state statistics department, and during the night, she was a full-time student in economics and one of the only women in her class. And she would stay up the entire night doing whatever she could to be the best. And her hard work paid off. Her hard work paid off. She was accepted into a program into the United States, and so she was able to travel there and become successful in that way. And to her, she was amazed by all the opportunities that America offered and by all the freedoms they experienced. And during this time, she also got married. And when she got married, her life did not get any easier. So she had to do responsibilities with the home and also taking care of her husband. And when her son was born, her husband became abusive. And terrified he would also harm her children, she divorced him. And when she came back to Uzbekistan, the society looks down on people who divorce their husbands. And during this time, it was one of the lowest points in her life. She felt judging glances wherever she went, and the only people who stood by her decision were her parents. But she continued on and fought on to make a life for her children. And left with 2 small children, she continued to fight on and got a job as a teacher back in Uzbekistan and continued to work on getting her studies and hopefully maybe one day immigrate to the United States. And And so her life was not an easy one, and it took a tremendous amount of effort to pursue a path of her own. And when she came to the United States, she also met my father, and then I was born. Afterwards, she came back to Uzbekistan and immigrated to the United States, and for 2 long years worked to bring her children here. So in all, my mom came from a place where women are not treated or recognized as equals. And life was not an easy one, and it took a tremendous amount of effort to pursue a path of her own. Her hard work and perseverance is the reason why I am here today. Because of her, my brother and sister were able to go to college and become engineers, and now they work in the Department of Defense to support the aviation fleet of the US Navy. And because of her, I can attend schools without any judgment and choose a path, and now I'm working in engineering and pursue my dreams in the STEM program at early college. And because of her, I get to enjoy an easy life and I can pursue my dreams. And because of her, I'm the person I am today. She has supported me through everything, and I couldn't have gone so far without her. And she inspires me to work harder and do better. And I hope to one day to prove to her and prove to myself that what she did was worth it. And she's just one of the many immigrant women who are storing stories similar to hers, who continue to fight every day towards building a better life for themselves and for those around them. And I am so grateful for her many lessons and for all of her sacrifices. And she's just one of the many ways women impact the world today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. That was a beautiful interpretation of the prompt. I really appreciate you sharing such a touching story with us. You are all good to log off. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, we are now going to enter our very first intermission. Judges, this is a great chance for you to tally up any scores that you may not have had a chance to during the speeches. For everyone in the audience, I am happy to introduce you to our trivia game. If on the screen in a second, it shall transition to where I'm looking at. So for those of you who have never used Kahoot before, all you have to do is either Google Kahoot or use the app. Once you open up the web page or the app, find the button that says play or the one that says enter pin. And all you have to do is enter this number here on the screen. Once you do, your name will, it will give you an option to put in a nickname. Please do not put in a nickname that we cannot immortalize on this live stream, preferably your real name so that we can guarantee that you are the winner of this prize. For those of you who win first place, either during this round or during the second intermission, we will be asking you to put your email in the chat of wherever you're streaming this, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. That way we will be able to give you your prize following the next 24-hour period. While we are waiting for people to join our Kahoot game, I'm going to do a shameless plug for S.P.E.A.K. It is the communications organization that I head at JCC. It is brand new. Not only have we helped put on this event tonight, we have also got our JCC's very first student-run podcast. You can find it either through Anchor, through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or more or less wherever you guys listen to podcasts. It is centered around courageous conversations, giving college students advice no matter what stage they're in. Not only would it mean a lot to have you guys there to support S.P.E.A.K, but it also is just a really great way to get JCC students involved with their community and hold some really fun conversations in the meantime. Episode 2 will be out, I believe, April 17th. Do look forward to it. It would mean the absolute world to have you guys there supporting us. It's so exciting to see you guys roll in. Thank you so much for joining the Kahoot. For anyone who wins this round, you are also good to participate next round. The gift card is a $10 gift card that we will be emailing to you, like I said, within 24 hours. I'm going to give 1 or 2 more minutes for people to pop in who might want to play. For those of you who might only be listening to this live stream, I will be narrating the questions and reading them to you. So hopefully not only will you have fun with the questions, but you will learn something as well. For those of you who have not used Kahoot and you're kind of like, oh no, what's this going to look like? Basically, the question is going to appear on my screen up here with the live stream. There will be 4 answers, 10 total questions. You will want to click the color/shape that corresponds with the correct answer. There is a delay between me and you guys on this live stream, but everyone is working with the exact same disadvantage, so there should be enough time for you to answer questions. You'll all be put back at the same 2 or 3 second gap, so please don't worry about that. I will give 30 more seconds for people to roll in. I'm so excited to see all of these names rolling up. I'm so excited to get this Kahoot started. For those of you who are familiar with the Kahoot and are missing the theme music right now, I'd like to just think we're all collectively playing it in our minds. We didn't want to overlap too many sounds at once. Perfect. For those of you for who are trying to form a strategy right now, as I aim to click start as people roll in, speed is key. You do get more points for answering correct answers quickly. For those of you who are worried about trying to act fast, you can also win by getting every question correct and doing it slowly as long as the person in first messes up. So everyone here has got the exact same opportunity. With all of that out of the way, I'm now going to start this exciting trivia game. Of course, they're all related to Women's History Month. Question number 1. How many states in the U.S. currently have female governors? You can either pick 2, 9, 6, or 14. You have 13 more seconds to submit your answer. We have 5 answers, 6 answers, 7 answers. Considering that speed is key, I'm going to hope that no one here is cheating. All right, time's up. The correct answer was 9. Oh, only one person got it correct. I can't see who's who. Miss Elizabeth Ham. Of course, the history instructor. That's fantastic. All right, question number 2. When could women serve on juries in all 50 states? You can either pick 1952, 1973, 1961, or 1980. I personally have helped make this Kahoot and did not study, so everyone here who's waiting on the correct answer and doesn't know what it is, we're in this together. I'm also curious what these are. All right, the correct answer was the circle question, 1973, with 8 correct answers. The scores have been adjusted. We now have a new first place winner, Jordan Cogdell. Congratulations. Question number 3. Who was the first Black woman elected to the United States Congress? You can either pick Shirley Chisholm. Please forgive me if I'm getting these names wrong. I'm so sorry. Katie Hall, Barbara Jordan, or Carol Mosley Braun. You have got 5 more seconds to submit your answer. I just realized the time lag might mean that you're looking at different numbers than I'm saying. I'm just going to assume you guys are in this with me. The correct answer was Shirley Chisholm in 1968. With the scoreboard being adjusted, we now have another new first place, Clara H., followed by Lisa and Maya. Question number 4. Who was the Shoshone Indian woman that acted as a guide for Lewis and Clark? Correct. Not the correct answer, that would be bad. Your options are Pocahontas, Sacagawea, Lozin, or Nanjihi. And like I said, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these. I'm just going to do my best. 5 more seconds to submit your correct answers. 3, 2, 1. The correct answer was Sacagawea, and I'm happy to see that 17 people have gotten that correct. Another adjustment in the leaderboards with Claire in the lead, Maya in second, and Miss Elizabeth Ham in third. Question number 5. What art style was Georgia O'Keeffe first famous for? You can either pick abstract and charcoals, complex sculpture, landscape paintings, or photographs, with a lovely image of Miss Georgia O'Keeffe here in the center for you all to gaze upon. I'm excited to see some art questions got in here. I'm loving art. It's very exciting. All right, correct answer was abstract and charcoals, with a huge spread of everyone in between these answers. Ooh, we have another Miss Elizabeth Ham rising up to first place once again as we enter question number 6. The famous 1930 female self-portrait artist from Mexico City. You can either pick La Roldana, Frida Kahlo, Laia Briod, and Edith Alonso Sanchez. For the 3rd time tonight, I apologize for not getting any of these names correct. I am going to look up pronunciation guides as soon as this stream ends to know just how badly I may or may not be doing. The correct answer, submitted by 18 people, is Ms. Frida Kahlo. All right, Miss Elizabeth Ham, currently in first place, holding her own, followed by Clara and Lisa. Question number 7. Who was the first female to fly solo across the Atlantic? You can pick Asli Asanabade, oh no, these names are going to kill me, De Acosta Root Beckenridge, Amelia Earhart, or Amelia Bozeman. Hopefully this picture is a clue for those of you who are already in the know, as for which may be the correct answer. All right, the correct answer was Amelia Earhart, an American icon, submitted by 21 people correctly. Well done. Oh, not only is Miss Elizabeth Ham in first, but she maintains a streak with 4 correct answers in a row. Congratulations. We'll now roll on to question number 8. Serving as the Secretary of Labor from 1933 until 1945, she's the first woman to serve in the U.S. Cabinet. You can choose Madeleine Albright, Oveta Hobby, Elizabeth Dole, or Frances Perkins. Like I said, another beautiful image up here for you all. Hopefully it will serve as a clue. You now have 5 more seconds to answer before we move forward to the last few questions. The correct answer, Frances Perkins. Let's see how much that might have shaken up the leaderboard. Miss Elizabeth Ham holding her own, but with Maya right behind her with a comeback of 3 in a row. Question number 9, almost done. Where was the first women's rights convention held at in the July of 1848? You can either pick Seneca Falls, New York, Syracuse, New York, Worcester, Massachusetts, or Cleveland, Ohio. My poor history teachers right now must be pretty sad. I mean, I know I haven't said any hints or answers, but I'm keeping a tally up in my head and it's not going so hot. I'm sorry to disappoint my professors. All right, the correct answer was Seneca Falls, New York, submitted by 12 people correctly. The leaderboard adjusts, and we have 3 people in a stable first, second, and third position. Miss Elizabeth Ham holding her own. The final question, the first female artist to win a Grammy for Album of the Year is Ella Fitzgerald, Judy Garland, Liza Minnelli, or Taylor Swift. My poor Gen Z self only recognizes one of these names, and for the adults in the crowd who are disappointed by that, I'm sorry. I personally apologize. If this Kahoot has taught me anything, it's that I have a lot of reading to do. All right, the correct answer is Judy Garland, submitted by 7 people. We are now witnessing the podium. Third place goes to Maya. Congratulations. Second place, Miss Elizabeth Ham. I'm surprised. First place, Clara coming in at the last moment. Congratulations to everyone who participated and our runner-ups, Sophie and Carrie. That was super fun for me to watch. I hope it was super fun to participate. All right, Clara, if you do not mind putting your email that we can reach you at in the chat of wherever you are currently taking place in, I'm going to take note of it, and we will be in contact with you within 24 hours with your prize. For anyone who is currently considering putting their email in the chat despite not being Clara, please, I'm going to ask you to not do that and be academically honest on this live stream. All right, thank you so much, Clara. I'm going to write your name down. C-C-H-A Sin 1 at Johnson. Okay, thank you. Sorry for the dead radio air while I wrote that down. I have taken note of it. Thank you so much for participating. For those of you who want another chance to claim the digital gift card prize, we will be doing this in the second intermission. Once again, another 10 Kahoot questions. Hopefully for those of you who had a learning curve, learning how Kahoot looks, will have a better advantage coming up in intermission number 2. All right, with that concluded, I am happy to transition to our next speeches. If at all possible, I would like to bring Miss Alana Reed up into our virtual stage to give her interpretation of the prompt.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. And I have some Speak members who are trickled into the performances, and I'm personally super excited to see those. But this isn't for me, this is for you. I'm going to let you have the screen time. You're welcome to start.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. It is my honor to be here today and have an opportunity for us all to travel together down memory lane. So thank you to the judges, my club members, my fellow competitors, and especially to you, the audience. Shirley Chisholm once stated, "Tremendous amount of talents are being lost to our society just because that talent wears a skirt." Join me on a journey for a moment. A journey where you remember how it felt to be discouraged, how you may have been underestimated, marginalized, cast aside. Think back with me for a minute. How did that make you feel? Unappreciated? Undeserving? Unworthy? Less than? Throughout our history, women had overcome unimaginable obstacles, not only to help themselves, but to also help others. Women are unquestionably the queens of sacrifice who have and still do lay down their lives to protect their families, to protect their children, to protect our future. Think back with me. Where would you be without the influence of a strong, caring, or supportive woman in your life? Is it your mother, your grandmother, a teacher, a counselor, a friend? Now, imagine your life without them. How different would it be? Where would you be? Would you be okay? For me, as a child who had medical conditions that prevented me from being successful academically and socially, my mother was the best and biggest advocate I could ever imagine. She fought with nurses, she fought with doctors, she fought with teachers, she fought with counselors. She fought for years until she found someone who was willing to listen. My mother found people who were actually willing to help me. I watched her fight tirelessly for me. She fights for those who do not have a voice to help themselves. That is what all great women do. They fight for the rest of us. Some women are recognized for their efforts, and some are not. Some women win, and some never get to see the fruit of their labor. There is a book titled A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. In that book, there is a character named Judith, who is the imagined sister of William Shakespeare. Judith does not have the opportunities to go to school, nor was she encouraged in her efforts to read or write. Her ideas go unexpressed, to be lost forever. Judith became the product of our society's trend of marginalizing women, seeing them as less capable, seeing them as less intelligent, seeing them as less worthy, much the same as many of you or the women in your lives who have been treated. Looking back at the book, the author suggests that William Shakespeare, as a male, was encouraged and offered opportunities to explore and expand his creative ideas. They believed in him. They openly loved him. They prompted him to be great. What if Judith had been treated the same? What if she was encouraged to use her mind? What if she saw a woman before her that had been a writer? Maybe, just maybe, she would have fought to been able to express her ideas instead of having her voice silenced, like so many women of yesterday, as well as today. Still, in 2021, there are many girls out there, even within the sound of my voice right now, who are geniuses in their own right, but don't have the support, encouragement, or opportunity to reach their full potential. No opportunity to awaken and feed the greatness that is already inside them. Did the influential women in your life have that opportunity, or did they fight for you so you would have the opportunity that they never, ever had? Whether you are male, female, neither or both, a woman has influenced your life, all of our lives in some way, from being a great inventor, to being a volunteer, to being an educator, to being a great mother, to being the Vice President of the United States. The voice of women will always be an important, necessary factor in our past, present, and future, because through the hopes and works of the women in our lives comes the birth of our future success, the birth of our future accomplishments, the birth of our future selves. Because of a woman, I stand here today as an honor student with a 4.0 GPA, with being a future lawyer in my sights, instead of being a Black female statistic I would surely have become if it had not been for the efforts of a woman who saw greatness in me and many others. Think of that influential woman in your life that you thought about a few minutes ago, and know that you are the product of greatness by birth, by influence, by example, and or by teaching that came from a great woman. Greatness is often measured by fortune and fame. However, the real women heroes are those who are never recognized, or cooks, nurses, teachers, bus drivers, counselors, and volunteers who simply seek to make this thing we call life better for everyone. Like Dr. Gladys West, an African-American mathematician who invented the GPS that we all use today. Yes, that GPS is one of many great things invented by a woman. So as you pursue your dreams, as you eat your next meal, as you drive to an appointment, or get dressed for class, or interview, or even a date, take a few moments to thank a woman who poured into you so you could shine and make life just a little bit better for us all. Thank you.
That was incredible. Round of applause. Your parallelism in diction was like fantastic, and I was so here for it. Great job, hands down. You are welcome now to sign out, and I will welcome our last contestant to the virtual stage, Miss Maya Van Heerden. Hello, how are you doing? Oh, you're muted. Like I said, I know that feeling. If you're able to, oh, there you go.
All right. Hi.
Hi, you are welcome to start whenever you'd like.
All right. Women make thousands of difficult choices every day. We owe everything to the women that stood for change against odds and obstacles and the women who continue to do so today. If these women didn't make progress against discrimination, then I might not have the choice to work as an equal professional against my male counterpart. I might not have a voice in politics to vote or serve, and I may run the risk of not being represented at all in the workplace, politics, or business. If women did not fight in their communities and their right to vote, or their right to education, we would likely be uneducated and unable to even own property. For this reason, there's not one individual that is most inspiring. Rather, women from a wide range of disciplines throughout history have collectively influenced, impacted, or altered the course of history so that you, I, and generations of women could have better quality lives. Some of them you know, some of them may even be watching today. In their moment in time, these women were uncommon. They sought to challenge the status quo and to improve the rights of women. They were and are fearless and are the true heroes of all women. When discussing inspirational women, Abigail Adams is one of the first to come to mind. Adams demonstrates one of the most important qualities of a fearless woman, resourcefulness. Adams wasn't allowed a formal education, but despite this, she found a way to educate herself and use her experience and status to fight for equal access to education and for the abolition of slavery. This is incredibly important because part of resourcefulness is using your circumstances in service to others. I see many women on this panel of judges who match this characteristic. Another key quality of a fearless woman is determination. Shirley Chisholm certainly possessed this quality. Chisholm was a trailblazer, being the first African-American woman in Congress and earning the nickname Fighting Shirley. She started the Women's Political Caucus because she saw the need to recruit and train women and minorities for positions in political office to help women like herself who face many chauvinistic men and many hurdles. Chisholm didn't stop there. She also became the first African-American woman to run for President of the United States and in all manner followed her motto of being unbought and unbossed, despite the unwavering sexism and racism she encountered. Though she might not have won, she opened the way for other minorities and women to fight their way into positions of power. Her life's work allowed women and minorities to pursue their dreams in politics, access better education, and pursue powerful positions without cowering to sexist or racist barriers. Now, I've talked about two women involved in politics so far, but another woman of great inspiration to me is professional women's soccer player Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe may seem like an unlikely choice, but she's a perfect role model and fearless leader who risked her career as a professional athlete to stand against racial injustice, wage discrimination, and attacks on LGBTQ rights. Her fierceness on the field mirrors her unwillingness to back down. Even with the threats of losing her position on the team, losing her platform, or even losing her career, I wonder, would that decision be something we'd all be willing to risk on behalf of other women? Difficult decisions are not limited to our part of the world. In fact, women from other countries are severely oppressed and lack many of the basic rights that we Americans enjoy. The Daughters of Kobani are a unique group of women who, despite their severe oppression and patriarchal culture, defended their community from ISIS. These women suffered sexism from the men within their community, as well as horrible torture and abuse at the hands of the Islamic State. These women banded together and formed their own militia and defended themselves and their sisters in arms. ISIS had planned on overtaking and looting their village as an easy victory, and the women decided to face the danger head-on and save their family, friends, and village. Afterwards, the women started gaining more and more victories in small skirmishes against ISIS, and gained a reputation from the US military for their own bravery, as well as a reputation for their bravery from the men within their own community who once oppressed them. Since then, more women from neighboring countries have joined their ranks in the hopes of fighting for their own equality and for the end of terrorism. Without a doubt, these women are the epitome of leadership and bravery. While the struggles of the Daughters of Kobani may seem like a drastically different situation from what we experience here in America, the discrimination against women is still prominent, despite its different forms. The fight by women and for women has been personal, sometimes brutal and deadly. Women have been silenced for centuries, but some have found exceptional opportunities to effect change. So let your achievements, accomplishments, and contributions be a model and a guide. Do not accept the status quo. Take chances, take risks, argue, and challenge norms so that your daughters and your daughters' daughters may achieve heights greater than what you had ever imagined. Do not be afraid to speak your truth or achieve your greatest potential, even when at odds with what is accepted. Let your voices be unwavering and resonate as a tribute to those who came before you and those yet to come. Thank you so much.
That was fantastic. Well done. You gave so many wonderful examples. This is so random, but you have your enunciation's really great. I think that stood out. Really well done. All right, you are also good to log off. Judges, like I said, this is your opportunity to finish tallying the scores for the contestants so that we can announce the winners coming up. But before then, we will enter our second intermission. It is Kahoot round 2, everyone, or AKA part 2 of me not pronouncing names correctly. I'm just going to stop the apologizing so it doesn't become a trend, and I just want you to know from deep in my heart, I'm very sorry. Anywho, the code this time for this game is different, so make sure that you enter this new pin and are not stuck in the old game. Anyone who either won last round, which I realized, I'm so sorry, Ms. Harrison, that I was calling you by your first name. I did not realize that you were the same professor at JCC. I'm going to switch that up real fast. Congratulations on winning the first round. You are welcome to participate again. To everyone else, you are also good to log in. Hopefully, you're now acquainted with the way that Kahoot works, and it will give you a more advantage in the second round for the gift card. I'm excited to see the questions. Nervous the names I will pronounce. I learned a lot from the last game, though, and I hope you guys really enjoyed seeing the different questions that we had in store. It's a fantastic assembly of pop culture and historical references given to us by the History Club. Shout out to the advisors who were behind the scenes this whole time. In fact, the whole history department for JCC did a fantastic job of helping us not only get ready, prepare this Kahoot, but also advertising this event. And now knowing that Professor Harrison is with us today, I can tell a lot of you tuned in, and I really appreciate it. I will give us a minute or two more to have people log in. I personally get excited to see people that are here whose names I know, and I appreciate everyone who has jumped on to support the contestants. I will give it 30 more seconds, and then we will begin. Something I used to do, this is random. This is like captive audience story time, and I'm sorry for that. At the YMCA, I used to be a camp counselor. Something we would do when we didn't know what was going to happen next, we're making time for little skits or events. We would sing the Jeopardy theme song together. It would go about as well as you'd think a bunch of third and fourth graders singing the Jeopardy theme song together would go. Most of those kids had never even seen the show, and they were just going off of our key. Also, I'm not a singer, so I'm sure you can visualize what that is like. All right, it looks like most of us are logged in. So without further ado, question number 1. 3, 2, 1. Question number 1. The first female Supreme Court justice is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Sonia Sotomayor, Sandra Day O'Connor, or Elena Kagan. Oh no, it's happening again. For those of you who know who this is and the names I'm getting wrong. Yeah, I already told you. Too many apologies already. So we're just going to confidently mess these up. The correct answer is Sandra Day O'Connor. Gotten correct by 3 people. Let's see who is now on the leaderboard. Hello, Lizard and Wizard. It's nice to have you here, Rosa R. and Jay Mitchell. All right, question number 2. Let's see if we can keep our leaders. Katharine Graham was the first woman in the U.S. to, with a lovely photo, graduate from medical school, run for president, win a Nobel Prize in Literature, or be appointed CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I wonder if this isn't a hint, don't take any of my advice, but all 4, right? No? That's not possible. The correct answer was be appointed CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I would love to see in the comments if anyone knows what that Fortune 500 company is. I'm curious now. I can always Google it post. Jay Mitchell rises to first place. Lizard and Wizard is unfortunately bumped down a spot. And Miss Carol Vaughn has risen to 3rd place. Let's keep it up on question number 3. She is the only African-American woman with an EGOT, which stands for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. We have Viola Davis, Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey, and Kerry Washington. This might be the first question of how many are we at? 13 that I actually know, which makes me more confident than it should. That would be a failing grade on a test, unfortunately. History professors, I promise that I study. I just didn't this time. The correct answer was Whoopi Goldberg. For those of you who chose Oprah Winfrey, oh no, wait, maybe I have a failing grade. I don't think I got that correctly. Congrats to Jay Mitchell, who has risen up to first place and has an answer streak of 3. Question number 4. In addition to starring in Veronica Mars and The Good Place, she is the voice of Anna in Frozen. Those of you who have littles might be good at answering this. The answer choices are Kristen Bell, Jodie Benson, Idina Menzel, or Jamila Jamil. I have seen this movie so many times. Like I said, I worked at the Y. Lots of, I enjoyed it though. The songs are a bop. All right, the correct answer is Kristen Bell with a whopping 16 correct answers. Congratulations. That was a sweeping victory. Lizard and Wizard rises to the top. Unfortunately, Jane Mitchell has gone down. Carol Vaughn continues to take 3rd place. In question number 5, this famous recording artist initially taught herself to play the flute. Your potential answers are Cher, Lizzo, Billie Eilish, help me, and Gwen Stefani. This is a terrible trend of not pronouncing things correctly, and I'm sorry to anyone who's getting upset in the comments. Okay, you have got 4, 3, 2, 1 to answer. Correct answer, Lizzo. 12 people getting it correct. Congratulations. The leaderboard sees a huge shuffle with Jay Mitchell rising back to the top, a new 2nd place Diamond J up in 2nd place, and Lizard Wizard unfortunately falling down 1 peg. Let's see if we can get him in question 6. Serena Williams holds the record for the most Grand Slam tennis titles. How many Grand Slam titles has she won? Your choices are 9, 23, 17, or 30, with a lovely Time magazine up here for you in case it helps. We have got a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is 23, split 7-7 between 17 and 23. I am not caught up on sports of any kind, and that was a fun fact for me. All right, Diamond J comes to the top in 1st place, Lizard Wizard in 2nd, and a new 3rd place contestant, Rosa R. We have seen a huge shuffle. Let's see if we can continue to mix it up in question 7. This famous mathematician calculated the flight path for America's first crewed space mission and moon landing. Your choices are Katherine Johnson, Julia Robinson, Mary Cartwright, and Marjorie Lee Brown. With another lovely image up here. I believe we talked about space during one of our earlier speeches. I wonder if that may be a clue. I don't know if you can see me, but virtual wink wink. Possibly correct. Katherine Johnson, 10 people getting it correct. Congratulations. As our leaderboard moves around, we see that the same 3 people stay up at the top, with Sophie rising into 5th place. Let's keep it up in question 8. This mystery writer is the best-selling female author of all time with over 2 billion books sold. You can choose J.K. Rowling, Agatha Christie, Danielle Steele, or Nora Roberts. This is again one of those times where my poor Gen Z self only recognizes one name. Hopefully those of you in the audience are doing slightly better with recognizing names. The correct answer was Agatha Christie. I was totally pulling for J.K. Rowling there. Harry Potter is the only one I recognized. With 4 people getting it correct, we checked the leaderboards. Sophie has risen into 2nd place, Lizard Wizard in 3rd, and Diamond J up at the top in 1st. We now have 2 questions left. Number 9, she declared herself the highest paid showrunner in television after signing a deal with Netflix. You may choose Marty Noxon, Shonda Rhimes, Tina Fey, or Amy Sherman Palladino. I don't recognize any of these. No, correction. I recognize Tina Fey. I'm going to read more before we do this again. The correct answer is Shonda Rhimes. Again, in the comments, if someone wants to tell me what she's done, I would be super curious. Leaderboard sees another shuffle. Diamond J continuing to keep in 1st, Lizard Wizard back in 2nd, and Carol Vaughn rising into 3rd place. We have 1 more to go, a record number of women-directed films in 2020, including Patty Jenkins, who directed Birds of Prey, Black Widow, Wonder Woman 1984, or The Eternals. Fortunately, I recognize more of these titles now. I'm certainly learning a lot during these trivia games. It is the final countdown. You have 5 seconds to see where you will fall in the leaderboards for first place. The correct answer, Wonder Woman 1984. Let's see how everything went. In third place with 6 out of 10, Rosa taking third place. Congratulations. Second place, 7 out of 10, Lizard Wizard. Well done. For first place, virtual drum roll, please. Diamond J rolling up for first place. Congratulations. All right, our runner-ups were Andrea and Carol Vaughn. For first place winner, Diamond J, if you would not mind putting your email for us down in the comments, I will be taking note, and we shall, send it to you within 24 hours if that is all right with you. This is that time I was talking about where we have a little bit of dead air. I'm just going to assume everyone is singing the Jeopardy theme song with me. I would hold a note for you guys, but fun fact, I cannot hold a note. All right, if you don't mind putting in your email, I'm going to wait on that. I do want to make sure you do not get skipped for your prize. It is well deserved. Do 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 do. I broke my promise, and now we're singing do 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 do. Okay, perfect. I see it. Let me take note of that, and we will be in contact with you very soon. Diamond and Jones. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. What I am going to do is I'm going to invite every contestant to now join us on the virtual stage. We are going to move into announcing our winners. Let me check the scores. All right, give me a couple minutes. I'm going to read over what we have got here and make sense of all of these numbers. I am a communications major and I've got nothing to do with math, so running these through my head. All right, judges, I am going to invite you to log out so our contestants can take the stage. If you would like to continue watching, please join us through the Facebook or YouTube live stream. With that, all the contestants, you are good to join us. That would be super helpful.
Hi.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good.
All right, I apologize as I take a minute to crunch numbers. Not my forte. I will be in touch with you guys in a second, though. Oh, I know. I'll ask you a question while we go. What is something that you guys either learned or super duper enjoyed during the speech competition? Alana, you can go first. Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's totally okay. I enjoyed hearing everyone's speeches and how they interpret the prompt. It was really mind-blowing.
Yes, I agree. All right, Carolyn, would you like to tell us next what you enjoyed?
Oh, sorry. I really enjoyed, preparing the speech and interviewing with my mom. I found it really interesting, and I learned a lot. So it was a good experience.
Agreed. All right, Cheryl, would you like to go next?
Yes. You know what I really enjoyed? I enjoyed the varied experiences and backgrounds of the judges. I think that it is actually encouraging to see women in those positions and successful at it.
Agreed. Well, I think you all did a fantastic job. Maya, would you like to give your interpretation next?
Yes, I agree with both Alana and Cheryl. I really enjoyed getting to listen to everyone else's speeches and research so many amazing women for my speech and get to present it to so many amazing women as well. It was just overall an amazing experience.
Well done, everyone. I'm very proud of you and very impressed with the quality of the speeches that we saw today. Like I said, I am not having much fun. Oops, sorry. One second while I have a family member walking in. I'm so Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I've got family members asking questions. Do not worry about that. Okay, so we currently have a tie for first place. So what I'm going to do is talk out what the options are. And then we will, based on how comfortable you guys are, basically do a lightning round. A quick 1-minute speech. I hate to put you guys on the spot like that, but I do believe, as it is a speaking competition, it would be the fastest way to just kind of figure out who's coming up on top. Judges, hopefully you are continuing to watch this live stream. I'm going to ask you to basically grade them again, and then we will be getting an extra score. Okay, so we are going to start with third place. The tie was for first, so we will be getting to that in a moment. All right, for all of you who are in the audience, I would like you to give a round of applause and virtual good vibes to our third place winner, Miss Cheryl Cogdell. So, yes, round of applause. Thank you so much for your fantastic interpretation of the speech. It was wonderfully and well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, as I look off here to the side, we are getting adjustments here in the scores. Okay, I can't do math. I do not believe that we do not have a tie. I'm just really that bad, and I do super apologize for me messing that up on the spot. I'm very sorry. So with a more proper roll in to what we have, I would like to announce the second place winner for the $150 prize is, dramatic pause, Maya Van Heerden. Congratulations. Well done. Awesome. Okay, what we are going to do is give a dramatic pause, a drum roll, a round of applause, a clap, a virtual cheer, and all around just good feelings to our first place winner, Miss Alana Reed. Yes! Thank you so much. You all did absolutely fantastic during your speeches. I am very impressed, and I'm so proud of everyone who did give a speech today. With this out of the way, like I said, we will be in contact with you about your prizes. There's about a 24-hour turnaround as we reach out to you and get things situated. You guys are good to log off. I'm going to run the conclusions, answer some questions in the comments, and generally just close things off. So you guys are good to go. Have a fantastic evening. Bye. Okay, perfect. Like I said, we will be in contact in 24 hours with all those prizes for both the people who won trivia and for the winners of tonight's event. Really quick, there's just a bunch of people I'd like to say thank you to who helped make this possible. Of course, the contestants did a fantastic job tonight, and I'm very impressed with the speeches that we got to hear. I personally learned a lot through them and through the Kahoot. Second of all, the judges, of course, thank you so much for lending us your time and energy to being judges for this event. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Evangeline Hudson. I'm going to read you a bit about her. She was essential in helping provide resources for this event. Dr. Evangeline Hudson is an inspiring businesswoman and founder of Evangeline Worldwide, a leading development entity specializing in personal transformation and entrepreneurship. You can support Dr. Evangeline Hudson by listening to her impactful, engaging podcast, The First Gen Lounge, dedicated to helping first-generation students overcome obstacles on a path to success. She is another fantastic local female leader. If you would like to support her, that would be the best way to do so. Next, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the History Club. They were essential with not only, like I said, marketing for this event, but also providing the trivia that you guys had so much fun playing during the Kahoots. Almost last but not least, S.P.E.A.K and its advisors. They were essential to getting this event prepared. I'm super proud. It was a bunch of fun, basically, to be here, engaging with you guys and getting this event ready. Most of all, the advisors who were essential in helping us organize and get everything rolling. Last and not least, but most importantly, thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Your support is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to hang around for a minute. I know we have had some questions in the chat relating to S.P.E.A.K, this event, and its podcast. I'd like to give this chance to anyone who either wants to ask a question. We will cover a few, and then you guys are all good for the night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go Jaguars! All right, we have a comment from Dustin Regina. You guys know I have a bad track record of pronouncing names, so I apologize. They'd like to know, can you provide more information on how to access the S.P.E.A.K podcast? What part of the college produced this? I'm happy to say the part of the college that produced it is S.P.E.A.K, which is the communications organization that started this semester. If you want to find it, I believe the easiest way is just to type JCC Speak into the search bar of wherever you listen to podcasts. You can either do this through Anchor, which is where we used to publish it, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Yeah, the theme that we have going on is stories and strategies how to cope with the college lifestyle to help you get the most out of your education. We're basically going to be covering a bunch of topics relating to college students, things that help not only like diversity within college students, but also like strategies to help them get started and be successful. Thank you so much for your question. It is an absolute honor to have you guys engaging with us. If you have any other questions for us, you can either put it in the comments. I'll hang around and see if any pop up. Like I said, thank you to everyone who tuned in. It's been fantastic to have you with us tonight. Okay, perfect. I don't see any questions popping up, which means this event has come to an end. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a fantastic evening, and I hope to see you at S.P.E.A.K's future events. Bye-bye.